Frank Gordon, Pandimensional Corporate Espionage Agent, is brought to you by the Ninth Halo Corporation. Remember, the Ninth Halo loves you and wants your life to be as complete and fulfilling as it is for the next guy or gal.
And now, the continuing saga of Frank Gordon, Pandimensional Corporate Espionage Agent. Episode 2, Women. When we last left Frank, he had successfully traveled to the correct where as intended by one Dr. Hennessy and the mysterious Mr. Man. I like the alliteration of that. Exactly what he was doing there, Frank still didn't know. He was simply following the instructions of his corporate backers. At the moment, Frank had taken shelter in a porta-john and had been hiding away in there for approximately 4 hours. And someone was determined to evict him from the smelly confines of the porta-john before the next 2 hours would transpire, and his ninth Halo inertia conduit storage and commu bag was prepared to make contact once more with home.
Sir, this is Public Safety Officer Colby Bright. Step out of facility, sir.
Frank hadn't a second to spare.
I'm cleaning out my asshole. I'll be right out.
Frank pressed the button on his commu bag. It was still recharging. Frank unhooked the bag from his waist and looked for some kind of hiding spot. Finding no obvious locations, Frank resigned to look into the shit-filled toilet. With a sigh, he lowered the bag carefully into the mess.
Oh, Jesus.
Sir, I need you to step out.
Hey, I'm here. No cause for alarm. As I told you, I was cleaning my asshole.
Officer Bright was dressed in a conservative uniform, vaguely resembling that of a police officer that we all know and love, but more on the green side rather than blue.
Sir, I would appreciate it greatly if you would refrain from using that kind of language in my presence.
Language like English or asshole?
The latter, sir. Profanity.
Oh, sure. Not a problem.
Sir, we have several disturbance reports from frightened husbands that claim you were brandishing some kind of weapon near the playground.
I have no idea what you could be talking about. I might have caused something that could be mistaken by someone who might describe it as a disturbance before going inside, but that was just because of how bad I had to go.
I see. And that brings me to the next reason of my appearance. Apparently you were in the facility for upwards for 4 hours.
Yes.
And your reasoning?
Well, it's like I said, I really needed to use the facility and then clean myself. You know, burritos?
Sir, I'm going to need you to put your palms on the ground as I examine the facility.
You mean bend over?
Exactly.
I don't know if I can. Flexibility-wise, I mean.
Try, or you'll find my nightstick so far up your...
Profanity?
Right. I'm going inside.
Okay, but you won't like what you see.
Sir, it's part of my duty.
And part my duty.
Excuse me?
Nothing.
Talk about toilet humor.
Put your hands on the ground, please.
Frank did as he was told. The smell had an obvious effect on Officer Bright's otherwise stoic behavior. She held the door open as she scanned the interior with a flashlight. Frank remained calm and cool as she debated searching too closely through the excess of fecal matter in the toilet. Of course, she didn't. Officer Bright exited the porta-john.
Okay, sir. I didn't uncover anything abnormal in there. However, spending several hours at a time in the facility is rather unusual, even after an afternoon at Tati's Taqueria. Do you understand, sir?
Yeah.
It's my advice to you, sir, that perhaps check in at a doctorium. If you were indeed needing to clean yourself for 4 hours, then you could be experiencing a health-related issue.
Oh, yeah, right, okay.
Frank and Officer Bright stood together a few uncomfortable moments longer, neither one moving.
Are we done here?
Almost. Regulation 463 requires that I ask if you would mind stopping by the station this evening, if you have the time, of course.
Why?
It's routine. We'd just like to ask you some survey questions on how you feel about your experience with the Sanguine Public Safety Department.
Yeah, wait. If I have the time?
Yes, sir. It is completely optional. However, it does let us know how beneficial we are to the public.
Oh, duh. Yeah, I knew that.
Officer Bright gave Frank a half-quizzical look.
You are an interesting individual. So sure of yourself and rough around the edges.
Thanks?
You're quite welcome. Maybe after the survey, we can have our own little interrogation.
Excuse me?
The officer took a step closer to Frank and removed her sunglasses. Without the large mirrored lenses, he was able to appreciate her natural beauty for the first time. However, the feeling of being looked at like a piece of steak was incredibly unsettling.
A little good cop, bad cop? Know what I mean? Think about it. Good day, sir.
Good day, sir. Ma'am.
Officer Bright walked away. The couple of guys who had gathered to watch the rousting followed by the awkward come-ons were already beginning to disperse. One man headed to the porto-john and was reaching for the door. Frank quickly intercepted.
Hey, man, now hold on. Hey, how you doing?
I've
still got to finish off some business in there, so...
But
Yeah, I knew you'd understand, man. Thanks. I'll try and make it quick.
But...
Frank locked the door behind him. He looked in the toilet, reached in, and pulled out the commu bag. It was utterly covered in shit. The smell made Frank gag. To be honest, he threw up a little. But it was one of those throw-ups that you're able to contain, so you just swallow it back down again. That's what Frank did. He looked for something to wipe the terrible defecated waste with, resigning to use wads and wads of toilet paper. If there was one thing Frank was truly succeeding at, it was keeping the physical shit off his own person. After another 15 minutes, Frank re-emerged from the porto-john with a disgustingly foul bum bag held much like a stinky diaper in one hand.
Ew.
Sorry, Mac. It's all yours now.
Finally, the man was able to enter the porto-john, but to his undying horror, discovered too late that there was both shit on the toilet seat and there was in fact no more of the precious toilet paper. No! Frank walked briskly away, going through the park while carefully taking in his surroundings. Things looked familiar, but different. There were buildings made of concrete, but there were no sides covered in glorious nude women trying to sell him things. People walked around in monotone colored clothing, and there were no overtly gorgeous people wearing hover shoes and handing out double bonus fitness pills. Frank crossed the grass and headed up a hill that he decided was private enough. He pressed the button on the commu bag. Nothing. Not enough time had passed. Frank attempted to wipe the bag on the grass, but the remaining residue of feces would not release its hold. He picked it up again and continued walking. More things stuck out to him. Storefronts still used neon to get their most desired points across, but there was more use of it. Yet it somehow seemed less elaborate. Large billboards had sensible, direct advertising that provoked more of a positive feeling than a wanton desire. There were even ones that tried to sell nothing more than a positive message. Frank walked about, heading toward the street. Frank noticed the sign at the intersection he was approaching. Rock Cock. And yes, there was something about it. Wait, that was part of the address the Ninth Halo told him to find. Whatever he was doing, he figured he was amazingly on the right path. However, he desperately needed to make contact and get the stink off his bag. Thinking about how long he had been carrying the shitty bag made him want to puke a little again, but he held tight, forcing his mind to block out the disgusting mess in his hand. There was an eatery up ahead, Becky's Pizzeria. There was also an original Becky's Pizzeria, a couple more shops down, and a Becky's Original Pizzeria slightly further. Frank headed to Becky's Pizzeria. If he had gone a little farther and around the corner, Frank would have come across Tati's Taqueria, the supposed reason of Frank's so-called stomach trouble. Frank found himself minutes later in a proper bathroom inside the pizzeria. He cleaned the bag in the sink with paper towels. The man behind the counter had been nice and courteous with Frank and didn't seem to be suspicious of anything, despite the foul aroma in the area. Another man entered the bathroom. He saw Frank cleaning off shit into the sink.
Oh my, that's awful. Here, let's get that.
The man pulled a baby changer open from the wall. He took Frank's pack and, after spreading out several wet wipe towels, laid it down.
This is pretty gross.
He began wiping the bag down vigorously.
I know.
How'd it happen, anyway?
Fell in the shitter.
Gosh, well don't worry. I've got 7 kids, so I'm not afraid of a little poop.
7? Holy shit, that's a lot.
How many do you have?
Well, none that I know of.
None. Wow. Now that's something I can't even begin to imagine. How'd that happen?
I don't know.
Wow. No kids. Wow. Most of my friends have at least 3, 5 if they're lucky.
Okay.
Have you thought of settling down? Is that something you're interested in?
I'm not.
Frank, what in the fuck are you talking about?
Oh my, is this a radio or something?
Who the... Someone else is fucking there. What you... Okay.
Hey, I'm here. Hey, is Dr. Hennessy there? I need to know if this bag is waterproof.
Nothing but silence came from the other end.
Hey, talk to me. Come on, guys.
1515999. This is Dr. Hennessy.
What's up, Doc? You got an answer for me?
Yes, the bag is waterproof. As long as it's sealed, the items inside will be fine.
Nice.
Frank grabbed the bag and dropped it into the sink, running water over the whole thing.
What is that?
My phone. It does that.
You're allowed to have a phone with you?
Yeah.
Gosh, I had no idea. You must be important.
I am.
Frank quickly examined the bag, decided it was as clean as it was going to get, and headed for the door.
Gotta go. Thanks for the help, mate.
Oh no, quite all right.
Frank made his way back toward the grassy knoll he was on earlier. Once he was certain his conversation wasn't going to be overheard, he sat down with the bag.
Okay, base, we can talk.
It's about time, 1515999. We've wasted half our communication time before there's another 6-hour delay.
I'm really reconsidering the usefulness of this device.
More than ever, just be quiet and listen. You must go to 17 Rockcock. It's called an achievement center. We need you to go in there and get intel on something called the Y-Chrome Dig. Any information you can find. Use all the tools at your disposal. Whoever is in charge at the achievement center should have personal files on the Y-Chrome Dig. You'll have 6 hours to accomplish this. Then we can turn the door on. Its energy signature will open and the compass will guide you there.
All right, you know what, though?
What?
This doesn't feel like testing vacations for enjoyment.
It doesn't?
No, it doesn't.
Oh. Well, good luck, 1515999.
Sure.
Seconds later, the commie bag was out of juice again. Frank unzipped the front and pulled out one of the toothpicks. He chewed on it for a minute before beginning his search for 17 Rockcock. Luckily, it wasn't hard to find. He was standing in front of 25 Rockcock, just a few buildings down from Becky's Pizzeria. He neared 17 Rockcock and saw that the building was huge and shaped like two gigantic domes that resembled titties. Two large, luscious, marble titties. The words Achievement Center were spelled out in 20-foot letters in an elegant neon cursive.
Whoa, big.
And that's what she said. Frank confidently strode up the door and entered. The front room was a vast expanse of desks and secretaries. Nothing but male secretaries, Frank noted. He walked up to one that was between calls.
Excuse me?
The secretary put up a finger, effectively conveying Frank's lack of importance.
Thank you for calling Achievement Center, please hold. Thank you for calling Achievement Center, please hold.
Come on, buddy.
Thank you for calling Achievement Center, please hold.
The secretary looked Frank up and down, obviously judging him.
Can I help you?
Yeah, thanks, Droopy. I need some information.
You'll want to talk to Gary for general information. 3 desks back, 2 to the right. Thank you for calling Achievement Center, please hold.
Look, I don't think what I want to know is considered general information. I want to know about something called the Y-Chrome Dig.
I'll call back later. I don't think I heard you correctly.
The Y-Chrome Dig. I want to talk to someone who can tell me about it.
The secretary looked nervous. Everyone looked nervous. Frank worked over what the fuck made everyone stop and gawk at him.
Hey, fellas, it's all cool, see? Toothpick. Relaxed. Keeping it cool. Rock on.
Sir.
Suddenly, Frank grabbed the secretary by his collar.
I'm gonna ask one more time. All you need to do is point me in a direction. Who's got info on the Y-Chrome Dig?
I do.
Frank turned to the voice. It came from the woman in charge, Joanna Reitner. She was dressed in an expensive suit. It wasn't as fine as a suit made from puppies, but it still seemed costly. She was flanked by 2 guards in black uniforms.
Awaiting on your order.
Frank released the secretary as fast as he grabbed him.
Hey, nice. I was just trying to get a little cooperation. The help around here might be a little overworked. They're kinda testy.
Joanna shot a look to the secretary.
Interesting. Maybe his T inhibitor dosage needs to be upped. So, you've been asking about the Y-Chrome Dig. Please, come with me.
And who is me? And when I say me, I mean you, not me as in I.
My name is Joanna Reitner, Executive Assistant to CEO SSC Pounder.
SSC.
Please, follow me.
Joanna nodded the guards away who disappeared into the background. Joanna led Frank away from the secretary pit. They traveled down a hallway and to an elevator. They boarded and took the elevator up. This all was very familiar to Frank, who had done the exact same thing less than 24 hours ago, although this elevator was nowhere near as opulent. She led him down another hallway and finally to a large, spacious office.
Now that we have some assured privacy, who are you?
I'm Franklin Gordon.
And what do you do?
You know. Little of this, little of that.
Vague.
Uh-huh. If I understood it myself a little better.
I see. Well, care for a drink, Mr. Gordon?
Frank, and please.
Joanna walked to an expensive bar and poured 2 drinks of a delicious-looking brown alcohol. Frank checked out the office, all the while attempting to keep an eye on Joanna.
Big place here.
It is. I've been with the Achievement Center for 4 years. Every day, I thank the hot babe.
Curious, Frank felt. There was a picture on the wall of a serious woman in a suit. The presidential seal was also on the frame. Frank inspected it closer. There was no denying it. The picture claimed to be showing the President of the United States. Frank swallowed hard. Joanna added a squeeze from an unlabeled bottle into one of the drinks. Frank just happened to notice this in the reflection of the glass frame. Joanna put a cinnamon stick in each.
Here you are.
Thanks.
Joanna sat down on a luxurious pink leather couch and motioned for Frank to do the same. He did, though not without a bit of apprehension.
So, you've got questions about the Y-chrome dig.
I do. At least I think I do. I mean, is there like a summary?
It's amazing. Most men are too afraid to talk about it in public, and here you've come directly to the source.
Joanna played with a crucifix that hung from her neck. It rested between her cleavage that until that point, Frank had been trying his damnedest to not notice.
Nice cross.
Praise Jessica.
Yeah, wait, should I be scared to talk about the dig? Is it something dangerous?
No, of course not. It's interesting to meet a man who still hasn't taken the regulatory cutting.
I suppose.
Frank was figuring out that things were very different here. He had a decision to make. Bear himself blatantly as a fool with no true understanding of what he was exactly doing, where he was or why he was there, or grasp the situation by its enormous horns and wrestle the beast of bullshitting and claim dominance over it while it squealed in submission.
What did you want to know about the Y-chrome dig?
Just, I don't know. I have no idea. Someone told me to ask about the Y-chrome dig, and I did, and I have no idea what they want to know. They probably got the basic stuff covered.
Oh, okay then. Well, we tend to make all confirmed research information readily available to the public on everything we're working on. I suppose I could save you the trouble and have someone retrieve copies of the Y-chrome dig progress and research.
Okay, yeah, that would be great, because honestly, I think I'm in way over my...
1 minute.
Joanna set her drink down and walked to a special intercom and pressed the button. With her back turned, Frank quickly switched his drink for hers. He would be damned if someone roofied him again. The last thing he wanted was to wake up with a largemouth bass on his...
Steve, could you send up all reports on the Y-chrome dig in the database?
Yes, right away. Stephen, Joanna's personal secretary, even sounded scared at the mention of the Y-chrome dig. Joanna turned back to Frank, who sat there smiling pleasantly.
You should have all the information you desire in just a couple minutes. And anything else you desire, too.
Frank watched with some satisfaction as Joanna leaned over and took a sip from her drink, which used to be his drink, which was drugged.
Thanks a lot for that. I guess I'd like to apologize for grabbing that little guy down there. Hope I didn't scare him too bad.
He may not be able to help produce children for the next couple months, but he'll still be able to perform at the workplace.
I get it, but I don't.
I'm beginning to understand that. No knowledge of the Y-chrome dig, obviously avoided the regulatory cutting, and knows his way around a toothpick.
Thank you.
I like that. It's that direct demeanor of yours that makes you so desirable. Frank, right?
Yeah.
Frank, it's obvious your DNA is exceptional. You're cute, yet wily, like a buffy tuft marmoset. Most men around here would give their left testicle to have your sheer male bravado. Ha, get it?
No, I don't.
Frank, would you be opposed to sleeping together?
Stone-faced, Frank hid his shock better than he had anything in his life. He also found his answer leaping out before he had sufficient time to think about it.
No.
Joanna yanked Frank off the couch and pulled him close to her. He could not recall a time when a woman was so forceful and so straightforward with him.
Oh, wait, what did I say? Double negatives really confuse me.
I counted on that.
Joanna snapped her fingers. A section of the office began to spin around, revealing a perfect seduction lair. A large bed decorated with fine silk and lace. Frank swallowed again. Somehow, the big game was ready to be played, and Frank had missed every practice.
So that's what I apparently decided.
A soft tapping came at the office door.
Miss Reitner, I've got the documents you requested.
Excellent. Frank, make yourself comfortable.
Joanna went to the door. Frank took this opportunity to leap to the couch and dig through his bag. He had found the wish generator, and he yanked it out, triumphant.
Thank you, Stephen. Have they given you your shot yet?
Oh, please, God, just give me something to defend myself.
I'm sorry. All requests must begin with the phrase, I wish.
Did you say something?
Joanna turned back to Stephen, completing their transaction.
I wish for defense. Protection.
Thank you. Please enjoy your protection.
There was a bright flash, and Frank looked down to see a condom laying on the floor. He reached down and picked it up.
Son of a bitch.
You may go now. That is, unless you would like to come in and see what a real man gets up to.
I'll be going.
Stephen vanished from the doorway in the blink of an eye. Joanna turned to see Frank glumly looking at the condom in his hand. She dropped a pile of folders onto the floor.
You're prepared. This is going to be fun.
Hey,
good, kids? Remember, the Ninth Halo loves you and wants your life to be as complete and fulfilling as it is for the next guy or gal. So get your Rat Smash Destructo Fun Set today! Thanks to our mastery of cloning, you and your friends can play Exterminator the proper way. Each Rat Smash Destructo Fun Set comes with 14 dried clone rats. Simply drop them in a cup of water, 1 part water, 2 part mutagen reclone solution, and 10 minutes later, you have your very own small horde of vile, disgusting rats to destroy. Each set also includes either the God Hammer, Crispy Sizzler, Small Knife, or Nails and a Stick, so you can smash those rats in the style that screams you! Ah! What's that? One of them got away? Well, don't worry, because the Rat Smash Revitalized clones have a lifespan of only 30 hours. After that, it's back to the dehydrated, jerky pieces from which they came. Find any of the escapees by following the smell. It's that easy. Head down to a licensed Ninth Halo Fun and Games store now and get one of your own. Also available, the Rat Smash Restocking Kit. Get another dozen dried clone rats to keep playing Rat Smash. Available in Periwinkle, Magenta, High Noon, Clover, and Traditional Black. Coming soon! Hamster Smash, Gerbil Smash, Fishy Blast, Duck Fuck.
Ninth Halo guarantees that all rats are certified bubonic free. Please enjoy responsibly.
A few hours had passed since Frank's bedding with Joanna. Frank gathered the folders from the floor. He adjusted his tie as Joanna was coming to on the bed.
What happened?
Suffice to say, baby, I rocked your world. Well, that and the fact that I switched drinks. Ha! Looks like you got the roofie.
That wasn't a roofie, you dumb bastard. It was a sexual stimulant.
Whoa, really? Huh, I guess I'm just that good.
What? Why can't I move?
Oh, right, that's because I tied you up afterwards. I've got places to go and things to do, you know? As you figured out, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing here or what the hell's going on in this place. Now, don't get me wrong, you're a great chick. I don't necessarily feel threatened by you. You've been honest, I think, and more willing with the sex than anyone I've ever met. But I've got to learn how to start taking the initiative in situations, and, well, this is my first stab at it. Get it? Stab?
Frank then executed a pitiful excuse of a pelvic thrust.
You deceitful...
Ease on town, baby. I'm sure there'll be some kind of manservant around here who will come to your aid in a jiff. I just need enough time to make tracks while the getting is good.
Frank hastily left the office. He took the elevator back down to the secretary pool. Files in hand, he was out the door before anybody, especially the burly guards, had time to realize what he'd done to their boss. Frank fled the achievement center. As he stepped onto the sidewalk, a woman was getting out of a cab. She was dressed to the nines. Frank ran up to the cab.
Hey! Hey, hold the cab!
Why are you telling me what to do?
I didn't mean it like that.
Frank grabbed the door of the cab and got in. His cab driver asked,
"Where to, pal?"
Let's, round the block?
Yeah, you don't look like you know where you're going, but you sure seem in a big hurry to get there.
Ain't that the truth? Hey, I got some questions for you.
Ask away.
What the hell's the regulatory cutting?
The fucking cutting? You don't. What fucking planet are you from?
I'm beginning to wonder. But yeah, just treat me like I'm an idiot.
Not a problem. Doesn't know the goddess damn cutting. It's like this, pal. The man goes to the doctorium and they take him into this room. Then snip, snip, they cut a nut off.
Jesus, that's brutal.
Well, the jury's still out on that one.
No shit?
No shit. Won't do much good, though. The guys who really wanted him got him right away. Most others followed suit to fit in, or were talked into it. Sure, every day a few more dudes get talked into it, couple more snips, but the surge has already happened.
And what's the deal with the Y-chrome dig?
Fucking A. You really are from some other planet. Every fucking guy I've known has heard about the Y-chrome dig, but won't talk about it.
That's something I've noticed.
The Y-chrome dig is this new government program that's working on switching who gets knocked up.
Oh, wait, what? Knocked up like pregnant?
And smart, too. You're a father fucking genius, you know that?
Hey, watch it. I've punched dames for less.
The cabbie stole a glance at Frank in the rear view.
Sure.
They're seriously working on making men get pregnant?
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Frank tore through the folders, looking frantically for something he really didn't want to find. But then, there it was in his hand, in pink and yellow. The Y-Chrome Dig was a government-sponsored research project with the ultimate goal of making males capable of becoming pregnant, or at the very least, making males capable of receiving a fertilized egg, incubating the fetus and
expelling the fetus after the 9-month gestation term? Holy fuck!
Yep. That's most dudes' reactions, although a little less animated.
That's twisted. Stop the car. Shit.
Exactly.
Frank threw the cab door open and ran off towards the park.
Hey, you didn't fucking pay! Lousy deadbeat.
The park was nearly deserted now. Most fathers had taken their children home by this point. Frank tried the button on his commu bag. Nothing yet. So Frank decided to sit on the bench and wait it out. This plan quickly changed when he noticed Officer Bright driving her cruiser on the street below. He took refuge behind the bench. Things were beginning to click for him. Men looking after children, advertising overtly non-sexual, males working the cash registers, the phones. Hell, a baby changer was in the goddamn men's room. And come to think of it, not one use of goddamn, only goddess damn and father fucking. Thank the hot babe. Women were in positions of power, authority figures even. President.
A planet where ape evolved from man.
That was not accurate at all, but somehow it rang true to Frank. He was willing to bet that if he did see whatever was used for currency here, it would have a woman's face on it. There was even the regulatory cutting, a practice, Frank supposed, whose purpose was to lower the testosterone in all males. Keep them docile. And beyond that, more terrifying than anything else, the Y-chrome dig itself. The idea was monstrous, truly an affront against nature. And for the life of him, he couldn't fathom what the Ninth Halo would want or even do with this information. He pressed the button again, this time with success.
Hey guys, I'm here. I've got intel.
That's fantastic, 1515999. Are you near the door?
Yeah, I am, but...
Okay, we're opening the door now.
That's great, really, but hey, I know some shit now, okay? More than I did before. This Y-chrome dig thing. The Y-chrome dig. You there?
Yes, 1515999. What about it?
Do you know how entirely fucked that fucking thing is?
From what we understand, considerable research has been done in the ways of forwarding
men shitting babies.
Excuse me?
Shitting babies. That's the gist I've gotten from this stuff. Turn men into baby makers, or at least turn them into baby shitters.
Be that as it may, wow. Shitting babies?
Yes, shitting babies.
Frank was trying his best to read Dr. Hennessy by his voice. He couldn't place if it was disgust and terror that was shared with Frank, or if it was amazement and intrigue.
Right. Well, nonetheless, if you could just approach the door and toss whatever you have on the Y-chrome dig inside, we can get you to your next location.
You know, why don't I just go through the door? I really think we need to talk about this whole process and maybe work out some kind of better system.
Frank, shut the fuck up and do what Dr. Hennessy has asked.
But...
Fuck! Do it, Frank!
Okay, but...
Throw the fucking intel in the door, now!
Frank took the modded compass from his bag. He followed the direction until he was sure he was standing at the door.
Okay, I'm at the door.
Throw in the fucking intel, Jesus Christ!
Don't you mean Jessica?
What?
Frank looked at the terrible information in his hand that makes me clench just thinking about it.
Seriously, what are you guys gonna do with this?
It's not your concern.
We're going to perform our own research with their knowledge, 1515999. We have no desire to force pregnancy upon men.
Absolutely none.
So, if that was concern of yours, please, put it at ease.
Undoubtedly.
Well, that's good.
However, with the right marketing team, this could become...
Oh, God.
You're right. This isn't something you need to worry your pretty little head about.
So, if you could just, toss what you've gathered through the door.
Catch. Frank tossed the folders straight out in front of him. They disappeared in an instant.
Did you toss 2 brown folders through the door?
Yeah.
Just 2?
Yep.
It was a success then. An intern is retrieving the folders as we speak.
Well, that's great, I guess.
The door has been reconfigured to your next location. Are you prepared to travel?
As much as I preferred this place over being hunted by birdmen and other nasties, yeah, get me out of here.
Enter the door, 1515999.
Frank took several steps forward and immediately found himself back in the infinite void of swirling colors. And just as quickly, he was out. Frank found himself standing in a room. More accurately, he found himself standing in line. Men and women of all shapes and sizes were in line with him. No one seemed to notice or even regard his sudden appearance. The line marched forward at a slow but steady pace, and Frank marched with it.
Dr. Hennessy, I'm here. Somewhere.
Describe it.
Well, I'm in a room, and I'm in line. For something. People. Geez. I don't know. Everyone here looks like badasses. Like they just came from Bartertown or something.
Wonderful. This should be the Bloodfest Arena.
Bloodfest Arena? That doesn't sound good.
Well, it wouldn't be, but you're prepared for this.
I am?
Suddenly, Frank was standing below a bright light. There was a huge, tough-looking man with scars and an eye patch sitting above him behind a large counter. A large green cigar was pierced onto a hook for a hand.
Name?
Who, me?
Yeah, you jerk off.
Frank Gordon.
Wait.
I'm not sure. 150?
Scrawny, you look like a scrawny.
From the front of the counter, a small laser appeared and blasted Frank in the face.
Oh my god, what was that?
Speed tattooing. Don't worry, you don't look any different.
My face feels like it's on fire.
You'll be lucky if your face doesn't catch on fire.
What? No, Dr. Hennessy, are you getting this?
Move it, asswipe.
Frank was pushed from behind by someone down a hallway and towards a different room. He noticed more and more how he completely stood out from the rest of the people here. Their hair was bizarre. They were covered in tattoos and piercings, lots of scars, leather. Frank was sure he looked like the equivalent of a toddler with epilepsy to them.
Hennessy, you there?
Yes, 1515999. Don't worry, you're ready for this. Remember?
And the communication time limit expired. Frank was once more on his own for 6 hours.
Can't I just get one break?
Suddenly, a deep voice boomed from the PA.
We've still got a whole evening of murder to go, fight fans. In just a few minutes, we'll have our first utter mismatch of the night. Scrawny Frank Gordon will battle to the death. The man-beast with the current record for quickest fight, the fucking huge mad bastard.
Battle to the death? Oh, shit.
A blonde woman with a half-shaved head and scantily clad in leather approached Frank.
Hey, asshole. You Scrawny Frank Gordon?
Yeah, I guess.
Awesome. You're next to death fight.
Frank did his best to not piss himself and succeeded. But what will Frank do or try not to do next? What will Frank do with his remaining 398 wishes? Tune in next time for more Frank Gordon, Pandimensional Corporate Espionage Agent. Next episode, Blood, and more blood.